Živio, Heather Travar-Tukaj, your Slovenian citizen diplomat, with another message for Slovenians. Tourism. That's the answer. What is the question? Well, the question on Quora was, what is the best product to buy in Slovenia? And my answer was tourism. That's what you have. Make the most of it. You guys are not making the most of it. Not at all. I feel Slovenia was a great slogan. It's not even trademarked anymore in the US. You're missing opportunities left and right. And I'll tell you something else. You've got great neighbors that you can bounce off of. And this is what I mean by that, okay? I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is an awesome city on its own. But we take that awesomeness and we multiply it 1,000 times because we're surrounded by other awesome cities that people can live, work, and play in. Okay? So that means that if you live in Wake Forest, you can work in Durham. And you can go to events in Raleigh. Because Raleigh is surrounded by other great cities. They're smaller, except for Durham, they're smaller, but they use what they have effectively. So there's always a festival going on somewhere, not just in Raleigh. And Raleigh's a pretty happening place when it comes to festivals and art shows and things like that. But you've got Durham, you've got Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is small. Their main street is about 2 blocks long. But they always have a festival going on in the spring and summer and fall, always. They make the most of what they have. And do you know what, guys? They used to be a university town. They lost their university. But they didn't lose their will to prosper, and they have done well with what they have. And they are now one of the fastest growing cities in our area. We also have Durham, which probably rivals Raleigh in size. They're probably about the same size. It's more sports oriented, but they have a lot of stuff going on. Not as awesome as Raleigh. I'm sorry, Durham, you're just not. But pretty awesome. We have Cary, not as big as Raleigh and Durham, but they have an amphitheater that hosts some major shows during the year. What I'm saying is, take advantage of this, okay? When the mayor of Raleigh wants to lure people here, she can say, live in Raleigh, work in Durham, and go to Wake Forest for these festivals, or Cary, or Holly Springs, or Apex. Apex has a Russian festival. There's always something going on somewhere within about a 40-minute drive. This is important because Raleigh is not an island. We have lots of great stuff around us. Who does that sound like? Does that sound like you, Slovenia? I think it does. You have Austria, Hungary, Italy, Croatia. You can sell yourself as the base camp. I mean, it's a pretty amazing base camp, waking up to those views every day. And you don't want people to leave, but what you tell them is, you can easily drive to Venice for a day trip from Slovenia, then come back to Slovenia and enjoy what we have to offer. Venice is really tacky, in my opinion, with their touristy stuff, and Zagreb's well on its way to being like that. Guys, I don't want you to be like that, but I want you to make the most of what you have, and what you have to offer is tourism. But you're not doing nearly enough with it. If you want to make me your Minister of Tourism as well as your Minister of Grammar Reformation, I will accept the job because I know what we need to do. All right, now let's talk about what you need to do to make all this tourism possible.